Hello, my name is Dr. John Cipolla. I'm going to play for you the All-State Solo on Bass Clarinet, number 5 from the Rose 32 Studies. And this is 8th note at 90. Now the first trick with this is to get us to feel 8th note to every beat rather than quarter note to the pulse. So in the first bar, we want to feel 4 counts for the first beat, and in the second bar, and then for the C, 2 counts, and the S sharp 2 counts. Now the second bar is going to be counted at 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8. Now the second line, 1, 2, 3, 4. The fifth bar, the 16th notes are counted as 1 and 2 and 3 and. And then when we get to the next bar with the high A, we're going to count those as 1, 2, 3, and a 4 E and a 5, 6, 7, 8. A few tips on the bass clarinet. Number 1, make sure that you have your instrument looked at by a good repair technician before you go to your audition, because they can often be out of adjustment. Secondly, I recommend a decent mouthpiece. A Selmer C-Star or a good Van Doren mouthpiece is usually a safe bet. And a number 3 reed, maybe a 2.5, but usually a number 3 is a good size reed. I don't go too much harder than a number 3 because I find that you lose some flexibility. When possible, try to keep the bass clarinet at a slight angle beneath you, and this depends on the kind of chair you're sitting on and the kind of instrument you're playing. My chair happens to be slightly lower than it should be, so I'm having to really reach out here like this. You may want to make plans for your audition by possibly bringing in a cushion for you so that you can sit on a chair. Depending on the chair that's in the audition, it might help you sit a little higher if necessary. The embouchure on the bass clarinet is different than the clarinet embouchure, so basically I like to say the letter V. And when I do that, I just bring the instrument to me. So it's pretty much like your embouchure, your natural formation of your mouth, just opening your mouth, and the lower lip should be a little bit flush against the teeth, and the way I like to achieve that is by just saying the beginning of the letter V. Like that. When we tongue on the bass clarinet, we tongue with the tip of the tongue to just under the tip of the reed here. But that being said, there sometimes are times when we will actually be using a little bit farther back on the tongue. So the last thing I'd like to mention is, just as far as musicality goes, to make sure that you pay some good attention to the dynamics in this piece. I'll say earlier, like I said earlier about reeds, be sure that you have a good reed. So if you don't have any new reeds, I'd go ahead and get some new reeds and break them in a little bit. Breaking in a reed means wetting it and playing it for a minute or two one day, letting it dry overnight, the next day coming back and wetting it again and playing it for a couple of minutes, and doing that for 3 or 4 days in a row until the reed really has wet and dried a few days and it really becomes solidified. Okay, thank you very much, and I wish you all the best of luck.